thinking of coming to Spain, you want to be by the coast, enjoy authentic food, soak up some nature and explore somewhere new. Well, that's exactly what we did here in Villajoyosa. This colourful seaside town completely surprised us. The old town is full of vibrant houses, charm and a real sense of community. The beach is just a stone's throw away and getting around is easy thanks to the local train. We visited over the New Year celebrations and spent New Year's Day here in Villajoyosa. The town itself is beautiful, colourful houses lining the old town, sitting right on the edge of the sea. It felt calm, welcoming and full of character. So during our time in Villajoyosa, we did a few things which really did make our trip. So I want to talk about them now and tell you my recommendations. Make sure to not only walk through the old town of Villajoyosa, but also the amazing beach towards the port, where there's some smaller hidden beaches around the corner, but also the newer areas of Villajoyosa. It all just has a really great feel about it and a great sense of community, so definitely check it out. Make sure you visit the Valor factory and museum. Valor chocolate started in Villajoyosa in 1881. It was great to learn about how the business grew in Villajoyosa to how it is made today. Within the tour you get to visit the factory floor from a viewing point from above. Unfortunately the production line was not in action when we visited, but I'm sure this would be very interesting to see the machines in action, giving you scale to how many Valor chocolate bars are made today compared to when the business started in 1881. The ticket to the museum was actually free. Just book your ticket online or turn up on the day and see if there are any free spaces. The tour ended in the Valor shop, where they gave us free samples of chocolate and we could make our own purchases. After our museum experience, we headed to the Valor Cafe, where we had a lovely hot chocolate and churros, which we really enjoyed. The Valor Cafe is in Villajoyosa, and we had a lovely view from the window from the cafe. Yeah, we sat in the window and it was just a great way to enjoy our afternoon. So I definitely would highly recommend it, especially after the museum visit as well. So as well as the old town, the beach, the churros and chocolate, we also visited 3 places from Villajoyosa which is on the same train line, which really made our trip, so I'm going to talk about them now. So our number 1 day trip from Villajoyosa was a lovely little place called Altea. We spent New Year's Day in Altea. The streets were quiet, the light was soft and it felt like time had slowed down. White buildings lined the narrow paths, glowing in the winter sun. Every corner felt calm, almost untouched, like the town was still resting from the celebrations. The walk gradually became steeper as we made our way up. It was a bit of a climb, especially on New Year's Day, but peaceful silence made it easier. At the top, the blue dome cathedral came into view. Bright against the whitewashed buildings and the sky, it felt like the heart of Altea. The climb was absolutely worth it. From there the views were stunning, rooftops below the landscape stretching out in every direction. The entire walk around Altea took about 2 hours. There was no rush, just wandering, pausing and taking it all in. It was the perfect way to start the year. So I also spent some time in Benidorm during this trip, and I want to be honest about how I felt being there. Benidorm wasn't really my favourite stop. For me personally, it didn't have as much culture or character as other places I've been to. And that said, it wasn't all bad. One thing I really enjoyed was walking along the beach. The walk itself was relaxing and the views were beautiful. There's a viewpoint along the way where you can see all of Benidorm stretched out in front of you. Seeing the city from that perspective really changed the experience for me. It gave me a chance to appreciate Benidorm in a different way. We visited El Campello in the late afternoon, just as the light was starting to soften. It felt like the perfect time to explore. We walked along the beach, past the tower and the port. Everything felt calm with the end of day atmosphere starting to settle in. The rugged yellow cliffs really stood out to me. They actually reminded me a lot of the cliffs in the Algarve, raw, dramatic and full of character. One of the highlights was Ileta des Bagnettes, a small island that leads you around the remains of Roman baths, old farms and ancient temples. We actually didn't get to explore this as it was closed when we arrived, but we saw from afar and it looked really interesting. The water around the island was incredibly clear and perfect for snorkeling. It's definitely somewhere we'd love to come back to and explore properly one day. Alright, so I'm going to love you and leave you here. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave you with some bells ringing in Altea when we were drinking our coffee and enjoying the sun. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.